Hi there, my name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. There's the little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. I hope I'm not too pixelated. I understand YouTube is downgrading 25% along with Netflix. I think all these like anything using internet bandwidth is just like, please just do anything to cut it down, because there's a lot of us using internet. You know, a lot more than normal. I didn't think we could have possibly used the internet more than we do. So, okay, I've recorded this video before, but I recorded it like 2 weeks ago. And I just haven't had time to put it out because just so many things have been happening. Yeah, there's been so much going on. So I haven't had time to put it out. I was going to release it today, and I'd watched it, and I was like, well, you can't put this out. It's from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was another freaking universe. I'm not even joking. It was another freaking universe. There was nothing like the world we live in right now. And I think it's not kind of relatable. I mean, look, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me just projecting upon it. But I figured I had to re-record it for this brave new age that we live in. But before we get there, if you could hit that subscribe button, thank you so much. I am so incredibly grateful. And I really, genuinely am so incredibly grateful to each and every one of you that hit the subscribe button. If you want to hit the like button and the share button as well, go ahead. You know, all those things are good to do. Don't hit the unsubscribe button. Just kick the subscribe. We like the subscribe button. If you can do that, thank you so much. I give stuff away each week on this channel, although I didn't give something away last week. I am sorry. I was going to give away last night on a stream, a Breaking Bad stream I was doing. The complete Breaking Bad second season. But I forgot because I was tired. I'm sorry. So I will be giving away on the TARDIS Zone on Sunday. Check the video notes. All the information is there, along with a link to download an audio adventure starring Nicholas Briggs as a doctor from the mid-80s from a group called Audio Visuals that later on became Big Finish. Okay, so this video we're going to be comparing, and this is an interesting idea. It really struck me as well. We're going to be comparing two ostensibly very, very similar people. We're going to be comparing Chris Chibnall and John Nathan Turner. And so, they have a lot of very stark and, what's the word? Not impressive. Very stark and obvious similarities. That's not the word I was looking for, but listen, it'll come to me in about 25 minutes to half an hour. I'm like, all right. That's what it's like being a boomer. Really is. It really is. So, yeah, they have a lot of, like, very strong similarities. The first similarity is this, that when they became producer of Doctor Who, they were really greeted with some amount of elation, like some relief that the former guard had gone away. Like Moffat, I thought I was basically done with Moffat. I was like, it's like I think he had enough. You know, I think he was just doing he was just doing too much, and his stuff has just been like more things. So I was really looking forward to a breath of new air, a breath of fresh air, I think so. Although I have to say, my favourite Capaldi season remains season 10, and I'm sure do a video of that sometime, but it does remain season 10. And I understand that's where the wokeness started to come in, and a lot of people are very mad at it about that. I think I'm happy to forgive it. And again, that's a video for another time. But when they came in, both John Nathan Turner and Chris Chibnall were really, really warmly welcomed. You know, John Nathan Turner reinvigorated the series and like brought it from like a kind of creaky old show from the 70s, which we all really liked, admittedly, and pushed it into the 80s, pushed it into a new it's very stark as well. Yeah, again he redid the title sequence, redid the music, moved away from the incidental music, went into much more like contemporary 80s stuff. Yeah, again, people were just really happy for this change when he came on. So again, same with Chibnall, myself included. You know, like we have a few people who called it right from the beginning here in the fandom, man. So, yeah, but I wasn't one of them. No, not at all. I for the same for like a millisecond when Jodie like takes off her hood when they did the reveal, I'm like, oh my god, is this political correctness gone mad? And I said to myself, don't be silly. No, sweet. You know, Chibnall's a professional. He's not going to want to make this like a vehicle for political ideology. He wants to make a good show. You know, Jodie Whittaker, she's the first female doctor. She doesn't want to blow that in like lecturing and preaching people. They just want to make a good show. So I wasn't expecting what happened at all. You know, and what went down was way beyond my worst case scenario. My worst case scenario on steroids. Yeah, is season 11 and 12. But again, when they came in, I was really, really happy for them coming. Not only that, I was kind of excited for there to be a female doctor. I thought, just in terms of story terms, it really worked, because Capaldi's doctor was wanted, like, he wasn't sure if he was going to regenerate or not. He wanted a complete renewal, like a complete rebirth. So I can see him doing that. But most influentially on the character, anyway, was Missy. Missy master relationship with the Doctor spans hundreds or thousands of years, and it's very close. It's very intimate, and that the master became Missy. That she changed her gender, I think, opened up the Doctor to it. So all that together just seemed like, okay, I'm fine. And she, he regenerated, and Jodie was, twice upon a time, and she seemed fine. And she blew up the TARDIS and got sucked out. And I thought, well, what a fun little cliffhanger that is. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see how she gets out of that. But that wasn't a cliffhanger. That was a fair representation of what the 13th Doctor was. A complete buffoon. Oh my God, why did they do that? Anyway, so that's really the first similarity. They came in and they were very, very warmly welcomed by fandom. The second similarity is by not quite that long after. It was actually a very short amount of time for Chibnall, like 6 weeks, I think he got before fandom had turned on him. But John Nathan Turner had a good. I think he was riding high up until. Honestly, he should have left with the 20th anniversary. But if he stayed on till the end of Peter Davison, he would have had a much better life. I think would have a very different Doctor Who as well. I think it would have gone in a very different direction. But the trouble is, they wouldn't move him. They wouldn't let him go anywhere because the 20th anniversary celebrations were so incredibly successful. The BBC had no idea of the commercial the commercial viability of Doctor Who, of how popular it was. Like Longley, the 20th anniversary, so they set up for, like, I think 20,000 people over 3 days. They had like 150,000 people. It was like a crazy number. And they did it. And if you remember, that's really when Doctor Who merchandising really started. I mean, technology really moved on. That's when we started getting the budget videos, video releases. I remember the day. But around the time Colin Baker came onto the scene, that's when the fan hatred really, really started. And they both have been. I say victims. Yeah, I mean, even though I think Chibnall really has it coming to them, they both have been victims of an extreme fan hatred campaigns against them. John Nathan Turner certainly was. With there was fans, a very influential fanzine called DWB, which just hated him with every fibre of their being. And I think it's probably more to do with personality conflict. So yeah, and well, as a Christian, I mean, yeah, we all know that there's a much fan hatred against him, mostly on my channel, because I can't stand what he's done with Doctor Who. I'll basically explain why by the end of this video. So that's the second reason. They both came in popular, for reason one, and they've experienced extreme fan hatred campaigns. So the third similarity is they both started with seeing their ratings, their audience numbers being reinvigorated. As they reinvigorated the show, the audience numbers were reinvigorated. And both saw those reinvigorated numbers, that reinvigorated audience, just completely implode and tank completely. Yeah, again, this will all happen way quicker for John Nathan, for Chris Chibnall than John Nathan Turner. And I actually have theories about why that is. But the why John Nathan Turner's tenure did take a massive tailspin. But they both saw the ratings implode. And with John Nathan Turner's case, it was the end of Doctor Who for the foreseeable future. It was like 14 years. Like, if you want to go to, it didn't really come back till, I would say, 2005. So it was, but with Chibnall, who knows what's going to happen? I do fear exactly the same thing will happen. That if there's not a massive course correction, which meaning that he moves on to another project and they just start trying to make good Doctor Who. I think they should really recast the lead as well. Unless there's a massive, I think we're probably going to end up in the same territory, and probably much quicker than John Nathan Turner ended up in it as well. So that's the third similarity. They both saw their ratings improve and then completely implode. And the fourth, and I think the most important similarity is this: they both desperately wanted to be loved. They both desperately want to be loved. So this manifested in different ways for the different people. John Nathan Turner it was an incredibly loyal. I think probably who liked showing kindness as well. He was very, very loyal, and he would always have other people's back, and he valued loyalty very, very highly. And I think that love of loyalty is what eventually destroyed him. Yeah, because his loyalty to Doctor Who is what eventually I think destroyed him. Now, so that's the way. And when if somebody needed help, John Nathan Turner was really there for them. Again, I'd never met him. This is from watching the documentaries, the documentary Showman, and there was another one. I read a book called The Life and Scandalous Times of John Nathan Turner, which really gives you a real insight into who he is. So Chris Chibnall, on the other hand, he seeks love by virtue signaling. He wants to show how incredibly good and virtuous he is, and so therefore he was going to get that dopamine rush by pleasing the Twitterati, the blue check Twitter Taliban, who he believes is real. He believes it's humanity. So they both really, really wanted to be loved, and the way they went about it is very, very different. So again, we got four similarities. They came in, they reinvigorated the show, and they were welcomed by the fans. They reinvigorated the ratings. The ratings then later subsequently tanked horribly. They both really, really, really wanted to be loved, and they were both subject to extreme fan hatred. So I think that makes them very, very similar. So here's the difference, and here's the real core difference, is that John Nathan Turner fell on his sword for Doctor Who. And the reason he fell on his sword for Doctor Who, I believe, is because he's a very loyal person. He loves loyalty, and he respects loyalty. He got a lot of fan love from his first, I don't know, I would say 2-3 years, I think 3 or 4 years of running. He got a lot of, and so he felt a lot of love and loyalty and to Doctor Who. So that for that reason, when they came to cancel it in 86, I think. And by the way, the reason I think it got cancelled was this: the reason that everything fell off the wheel, that everything fell apart, was John Nathan Turner's style of production was to have a very joyous and happy production office. People were always people liked going there. It was fun. It was like they said the BBC was just grey, and suddenly John Nathan Turner said, "Blah!" Burst of colour. When they were in the canteen, the Doctor people were like, "Blah!" It's like a party. And I think what really killed it was the souring of his relationship with Eric Saywood, which I think just poisoned the whole office, and I think crushed him personally as well, John Nathan Turner personally. And I just think without that enthusiasm and that joie de vivre, it showed on screen. It really showed on screen with poor. I think with the poor execution of scripts, because it got to a point where I think Say were just I don't care. I just don't care. This is all stupid, and I don't care. He really should have he should have left as well, probably at the end of Davison. Anyway, but when Doctor Who was put on hiatus, I believe it was supposed to be cancelled, and the only reason it was put on hiatus is because again, this is rumor, is that John Nathan Turner put out a press release saying it's being rested for 18 months, which is actually the same amount of time it's being rested right now, but even actually less time than it's being rested right now between seasons 13 and 12 and 30, although you can take your time, Chips. But it's being, he put out a press release saying it's being rested rather than being cancelled, and that embarrassed the BBC into not cancelling it. And I think from that moment on, that destroyed his career. That marked his card at BBC. He kept pitching ideas. He pitched ideas on different things all the time, and they kept turning him down. And they turned him down, I think, at first because they didn't think the ideas were good. But it got to a point where after that incident where they would just no, and then gave him no. And I think that crushed him a little bit. I really do. So, but John Nathan Turner loved Doctor Who because Doctor Who loved him, and he fell on his sword for Doctor Who. Conversely, Chris Chibnall, I don't think really does love Doctor Who. I think he's used Doctor Who as a vehicle for self-aggrandizement. He's used it to fill it full of identity politics, which he thinks is a good thing, which thinks it makes him noble, which thinks it gives him respect, which thinks gives him the love that he so clearly craves, right? But he can't really understand why it's giving him all the hatred he's getting. The reason why, because you're doing it badly, you're doing it transparently, you're doing it superficially, and honestly, Chris, you're just not a good enough writer. That's the bottom line. You're just not a good enough writer to be able to pull off what you're trying to do effectively. Look, Stephen Moffat really wasn't either, and he's so much better a writer than you. So, but that's I think the core difference between John Nathan Turner and Chris Chibnall. One of them sacrificed himself for Doctor Who, literally sacrificed himself for Doctor Who, and the other one sacrificed Doctor Who for himself. So that's really just my thoughts on the matter and my ongoing disdain for Chris Chibnall, which knows no bounds, apparently. Anyway, my name is Phelan Beck and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. Stay home. Don't go anywhere. There's no need to go anywhere. Stay home as much as you can. It's getting crazy out there. And have yourself a fantastic day.